Hello, beautiful people! Today is Friday, September 22nd, maybe. I don't have my phone on right now, so I'm not about to check the date, but it is Friday, end of the month. I thought I'd come on here and do a little life update for you guys because I haven't done one in quite some time, probably like 4 or 5 months. So I figured I'd come on here and chat about life in general, business, our move, where I'm at mentally with nutrition and fitness, just like everything as a whole. We'll go with this winter. So this winter, I was gearing up to do my very first IFBB Bikini Pro show. And in that, you know, you have to go through another reverse diet to gain that lean mass for the pro stage and count macros every day and kind of have like the same gym regimen in terms of like strictly lifting. Well, that's what I was doing. So this winter I was gearing up for my first IFBB Pro show, which I was gonna do in the spring, but I was getting some like very weird anxiety towards life in general. Like there was a few nights where I was just bawling in bed because like my body was trying to get a panic attack and I just was not letting it happen. So I was just, you know, with Steve, and this happened for like a lot of the winter. I just got this really weird anxiety, and I think it kind of came down to not living the life I want to live and kind of feeling trapped. So fast forward to like January, February, I had made the decision to, actually I talked to my good friend Laura. We were FaceTiming and she was like, what is the main reason you're doing this pro show? And I was like, well, I feel like I have to because I feel like I would let you guys down if I didn't do this pro show. And I feel like maybe it's something that you're supposed to do when you get your pro card. So she just kind of like really put it into perspective and made me realize that I wasn't competing for me anymore. I was doing it for outside sources, which should never be the reason. So I decided to not compete. I dropped out of my IFBB Pro prep and I decided against all of that. And then another area that I felt trapped in was the fact that I lived in a place that wasn't conducive to my goals. It wasn't conducive to my happiness. I was living in a place that I wasn't necessarily happy in. So Steve and I, we drove out to Colorado in March and went house hunting, and we found some place, found a townhome here, and moved, you know, a month and a half later. Let me rewind a little bit and say Steve quit med school in November, and I'm so proud of him for doing that because I know that it was the hardest thing he had ever done in his life, but med school wasn't fulfilling him, and being a doctor at the end of the day wasn't what he wanted to do. The more time he spent in the field, like shadowing and doing the schoolwork and everything, the more he realized that it wasn't for him. So he switched directions, switched paths in life. I switched paths in life, and we started doing things for us. We started to put our happiness and mental health first, and that's kind of how we wound up in Colorado. We knew we'd always wanted to live here, but it was just the perfect time to break away from all the negativeness that was happening in our lives and come out here. So we moved here in May 1st, and we were just like chomping at the bit to get here. Once we came here, our lives have drastically changed. We have had, in Indiana, our lives were so different. We literally woke up, went to the gym around 11 a.m., came home and ate lunch, or whatever you want to call it, and you know what we did? We literally watched TV from 3 p.m. till 10 p.m. That was literally our lives, day after day after day. No friends, nothing. Like, it was just a life that I never want to go back to. And now we live our lives with such like fullness and such love and happiness and friendships, and I don't know, it's just insane that breaking away from negative mental state and breaking away from living in a place that you didn't necessarily thrive in can change your entire life. So after moving here, I realized that tracking macros every day and possibly competing in bikini wasn't necessarily what I wanted to do with my life. So one day I talked to my coach, Nick Tong, and I was like, you know, I feel like I have built up so much knowledge throughout the past years of tracking macros that right now it's just very stressful in my life to count everything, to worry about not going out to eat when there's amazing restaurants here. I just felt like my life was very unbalanced in terms of eating, and then I also felt like my life was very unbalanced in terms of the specific training I had to do, which was solely weightlifting. I just felt like stuck, I guess you could say. So we talked about that, and I decided to kind of not track macros anymore and go my own way with what I wanted to do in terms of training, like with lifting weights and exercising. Nick said, you know, okay, like I want you to be happy. Maybe we will reconvene in the future on your pro show, but you need to let me know soon so that we can start training for that. But the more I thought about it and the more time I spent intuitively eating, or what you would call intuitively eating, I realized my happiness was not in competing anymore. It was in fully immersing my life into living life in the moment rather than living life based off of a goal, doing things every single day based off of a goal that lasts 30 seconds on stage where I possibly would place. So I just set my priorities in a different order, and the day that I stopped tracking macros, it was kind of scary for me because I had been tracking for so long, like 3 years every single day, that I was like, oh my gosh, am I gonna be able to do this? Am I gonna get too skinny? Am I gonna get too fat? Like, I didn't know what was gonna happen. So I did it, and I kind of just followed my normal meals without the scale, and then ate out when I wanted to eat out. And the more into it I got, the more I trusted myself to make great judgments based off of how I'm feeling, how hungry I am, how full I am, and then making food decisions based off of that. Obviously trying to keep my normal feeding times of like morning, lunch, snack, dinner, snack, just kind of keeping that regimen a little bit because I have blood sugar issues, and if I don't eat a lot throughout the day, I like crash. So keeping that, but like really just branching out in terms of my nutrition. So I feel like that has really opened my eyes and broadened my perspective on life. Being able to go out to eat and not worry about it, being able to go to the grocery store and not worrying about how many macros is in something. Counting macros has a place in your life. Like, I would not be able to be where I am today without tracking macros, without going through a reverse diet phase, without going through all that training. My body wouldn't be where it is, my mind wouldn't be where it is, my knowledge wouldn't be where it is. So I'm very grateful for the steps I have taken to get here. But now that I'm here, it feels really good to like live my life, train how I want to train every day. Sometimes I do HIIT, sometimes I do an outdoor workout, sometimes I do lifting, sometimes I do an F45 workout, sometimes I do Pilates. So just kind of like doing all these different things and training when I want to, how I want to, has been a game changer and life changer for me. So that's kind of where I have been in terms of my mental state and my nutrition and my fitness. And I do get a lot of questions on a daily basis, like, how did you transition from macros to intuitive eating? Or you look way better now than you did when you were in training and when you competed. And I think that goes with like how happy you are, and that really kind of shows you how much happiness has to do with where your physique is and like how much you glow and like your vibrance and your energy. Because if you're not happy, clearly you could see that in the past winter that I was struggling. Because now like I feel good. I feel like I look great. I feel like I'm free and happy. So really, like, what's on the inside matters so much more than what's on the outside. And I always preach that, but I wasn't necessarily following along with that teaching until now. I've changed my workouts a ton, and I feel so much healthier adding in the high intensity training and the cardiovascular training. I feel so much healthier and light on my feet and energized. And my metabolism honestly has spun up like crazy doing this type of training. I'm even gaining like more muscle in areas that I didn't really have, rather than muscle in just my delts or muscle in just my glutes. So it's been really cool to kind of like watch my body go through that, doing the high intensity training. I'm also able to eat a lot more, and I literally eat out every night without having to worry about a single calorie or single macro. In terms of family, my dad is doing very well. As you guys know, his cancer came back. He went through his 3rd or 4th cancer surgery where they literally took off half of his liver this time. So his recovery was really hard, and moving during that was one of the hardest things I had ever done. Saying goodbye to my family was the hardest thing that I had ever done in my life. But he's doing really good now. He's on immunotherapy. My mom helps with balance. She does our customer service, so she's been doing awesome on that. Chloe, she moved here about a month ago. She lives a minute down the road, maybe even less, and it's been so freaking amazing to have her here. I just feel like my life is complete. We have Laura, who lives like in my backyard basically, and she's here, and just everything. I feel like the last 7 years my family has been through a ton of turmoil in terms of going bankrupt and losing everything and moving across the country several times and going to several high schools, and not getting into Purdue 5 times and then finally getting in, and my dad's cancer and my brother struggling in his area, and like there's just been so much turmoil in my life these past 7 years, and I feel like God is finally setting us in a positive direction, and like everything is falling into place. So yeah, I feel blessed to have gone through all the turmoil in my life, because I definitely wouldn't be where I am today, and I definitely wouldn't be who I am today without all of the path I've been on. So I feel like now, like just now, maybe like the past 2 months, God has really put everything together, and like our path is just a lot more fulfilling and happy than it has been in the past. So everything's just like falling into place very well, and we feel very blessed. But some people can look into your life and be like, oh, they have the perfect life. Like, wow, I wish I lived that life. But what they don't know is like all of the struggle they have been through to get there. All of the struggle they've been through. So that's where we are with life. That's where we are with nutrition and fitness. And Steve, he's lost like 25 pounds since being in Colorado, because we're not so worried about bodybuilding and so worried about nutrition, and like we're just living our lives to the fullest, and our physique like doesn't hold so much in our lives as it used to. So in terms of balance, we launched the 27th of July. We basically sold out, which was insane, and so blessed for that. The hoodies, the crew necks launch tomorrow, and I'll probably get footage for you guys there. I'll probably edit this tonight and have this up tomorrow before the crew necks launch. So if you want to see footage of the crew neck launch, comment down below and I'll grab that for you guys. But we launched those tomorrow, as well as the hats, and then we actually had our supplier here from a different country. He was here this whole week from Monday through Thursday. So we mapped out, completely planned out 2019. It's going to be literally insane for you guys. I can't tell you what's about to happen with balance, but I can say that it's going to be something that you absolutely hold near and dear to your heart, because you're going to love every single thing that we put out for you guys, and we will promise to always give you the best quality, the best designs, the best fit, like everything that we can. So he came out here and we planned everything. We're doing men's, hopefully starting February, so there's a lot of big things there. We're also starting another business venture, which you guys are going to be obsessed with as well. So stay tuned for that. I'll probably announce that within the next couple of months. And like I said, I feel like we've been through so many lows that we've finally came up to like a great point in our lives, and all of us, like in terms of mental health and happiness and everything. So, man, thank you guys for watching my life update. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it and I wasn't just blabbing on, but I haven't done one in a long time, and I haven't really reflected on the move here. I haven't really reflected on life in general. So anyways, I love you guys so much. Thank you for taking the time out of your day for watching this. I appreciate every single one of you. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video down below, and I'll see you in the next one.